Hello, welcome in this video where I want to showcase this Lego MOC I created using parts of the City Space Exploration line. 5 sets total, that's 3 times the Interstellar spaceship, 1 times the 6-wheeled Rover and Alien Life, you recognize the wheels here in the back, and 1 time the circular space station. Of course you recognize the circular part in the back also. It's like a main design element of this spaceship. Already, I think the official Lego sets are very well designed. I really like the line overall. But after some time you try to build stuff with it, and then I like the sets even more maybe because yeah, there is just so much detail in those sets, which I really like working with. It really makes a cool detailed spaceship in the end. I also got a few leftover parts. Let me quickly show them. A few minifigures. I believe there are about 10 in those sets. Loads of figures, really cool. In the MOC there are I used 5 of them. Of course you can place more, but it's already a bit cramped inside the spaceship. But it's always cool to have more you can play with. 2 wheels, there are 4 wheels in the ship. So the leftover. The Technic wheels for in the wheels. Yeah, they're quite big elements, so you really need to design around them, and already there are quite a few big elements in the ship, so at some point yeah, I couldn't fit them in there in a well thought out manner. Suspension, well, it's not doing anything with wheels. A few glass windshields, etc. I actually really like these parts, but yeah, I know they're not working correctly in the Lego Studio, so I kind of avoid them, which is a shame, but yeah, I ended up doing that here. Let's look at this spaceship. Spaceship's the main build. There are 2 smaller side builds. There is like an interconnecting story, which is I think a cool play feature. I'll get to that at the end of the video. Let's first look at the spaceship. Let's first start on the outside and then go to the inside. Well, the circular part of the around the engine here is of course a main design element. It's also where it stands on quite firmly, I think. Already with building, but also with handling. And I got small children, and I like that they like my design, so I also want them to play with it. So I like it being sturdy, and of course this can fall, and these are all connected with 1 stud, so they fall off quite a lot. But overall, it's okay. It doesn't break in big parts. I also tried at some point with some like landing gears, landing wheel, landing system. But yeah, there I felt that it just wasn't that sturdy, at least not with what I could come up with. And this way I could make the bottom very sturdy and have like this pedestal. I designed it a bit in a way so it can be like in a hangar or a repair bay. And overall, yeah, I kind of like how it looked, but especially how sturdy it is. Then the cockpit, I tried using the smaller windshields, but yeah, it would be very small, and yeah, it's always a bit, when starting a MOC, it's always like trying out some stuff to see how much bricks you have to go. So I found out that I needed to use the bigger cockpit window. Therefore, I could do all these things with all the other parts to give it like a streamlined look, and I like how this ended up. You'll see me do that more often probably. They are just attached with 1 stud. Then here the mid part, it's got these wings on the outside, and it gives it a bit of an X shape if you want to. I like how these bigger top parts are they look kind of like ears, so it's also a way to give some character to your spaceship. For example, like this, it's maybe normal, a bit active, but if you go like this, then yeah, this is what the ears of my cat do when the cat's not happy with me. Or maybe like flat. It gives some character to it, I think. They're easy to turn and to pose, but also one stud, so they can also fall off quite easily. But they're also very easy to attach again. I keep on moving my hands and attaching all these antennas. It's got this windshield here on top. You can actually look in there. It's very dark, I think, on the video, but you see a figure standing there. In a moment, when I showcase the inside, you'll see what you can look at. Then you have the airlock parts. They're the same as in the space station. You can take them off. There's one on both sides. And then in the back there's like the bigger quarters, or maybe corner is a better name, like the laboratory and the launch corner. And all the way to the back, the closed off part, that's where the engine resides, going into the back. And of course the side engines. There's like this energy thing here. It can be empty maybe. That's some play features. I also like the antenna. Every set that uses parts of the Rover, gets the antenna, and just, yeah, I like how it looks. This is on purpose. There's one stud here to attach things. More about that later. But yeah, loads of engines. That's the outside. Now when we go to the inside, you can actually take these parts off. So there we go. And this one comes off quite easily. Let me remove the cockpit window. Oh, they're on the side here. And then we can look inside. Something fell off. That happens sometimes. There we go. Let's start with the cockpit. It's got these screens. I really like the screens. Every video I'm talking about how cool I think these screens are. They're just very cool. So of course they're in there. There are some stuff in there. This kind of reminded me of those sci-fi 80s buttons of like these big computers, and it has these big buttons. Very cool. And the stool, the seat, it's adjustable, and behind it you can go to the room that's behind there. Well, there is a bed there and a screen of like the energy meters you can look at from your bed. Actually, besides those energy meters or the logo, there are not that many, and the screens itself, there are not that many other things that look like screens, so I had to use that one there. And on the other side there is this table here, and there's some more stuff to do. This person has like this handheld meter for stuff. Let your imagination come up with what it's about. Then the room behind it, it is in between of those airlocks. Here you can see well, you can remove the airlocks. There is a step there, there is a suit there. And in the last room, there is the laboratory part that's on the front here. Let me take this one out. Oh, this one. It's like a laboratory stand. Really cool, those parts, and this bacteria thing. Of course, those are on the space station part. Really cool. There's a closet there. There is a camera on there. There are extra scientific things there. There is a plant on the back there. You can give it a name. Let me return that one. And on the other side, let me move it around. There is the lunch quarter. Looking at some statistics on the screen or something, or maybe TV. and there is a drill there. So there are like, you can divide it in parts. You have the cockpit, you have the sleeping and briefing room maybe. There is the airlock room or the entrance room or corridor. And then you have the laboratory and the lunch room. Lots of small playrooms, I think, or corners of the interior. Let me put those back on there again, so we can go to the next part. This sometimes goes a bit stiff. Oh, not too bad. And the windshield. So you actually can quite quickly like go to the inside or go to the outside again. Let me move that to the side and let's look at these side builds. This is like a small off-world or planetary house or a workshop. It's kind of the word I had in my head. It's got this this small robot here, and actually, yeah, well, you guessed that these are like the leftover part. So there's so much I could do with it, but well, I came up with this story, which I also like to do with my kids, of course. This is like a spaceship. It goes through space, and it needs, for certain purposes that it needs to do, it needs an antenna or a gun or more solar panels on top. So you got the one stud on top here, and of course it can be bought on this Planetary workshop place. And once you bought it from the alien in the spacesuit, the alien in the spacesuit would go to his high-tech interior here. Let me show that, and it would actually use these panels to activate this robot here, which can fly around. It's got like this engine underneath, and it can move around, and it can actually take one of these parts. They all have handhelds. For example, this antenna. And because it can fly, it can place the antenna on the spaceship. I don't know if the people that watched it are really into playing with MOCs, but yeah, when designing, you are working with storytelling in your head. What could happen? What could they do? How could stuff make sense? So this was kind of, yeah, what I come up with. What I really like, which is actually pure coincidence, is that this robot is actually quite firm in place there, because those wings just precisely fold in there. So, and besides the antenna, of course, it can also do the solar panels, or this gun, or maybe this Tesla cannon or something, to shoot at things. So there we go. Let me pause this for a moment. Of course, the ears. This is the Lego MOC using 5 official Lego sets, and you can find the link to the manual in the description. I hope you like this video, I hope you like this MOC, and see you next time.